today I'll be talking about the effects of drinking while driving. Imagine never seeing someone that you love ever again because of the bad choices of others. Many people don't realize the dangers of consuming alcohol before sitting behind the wheel. So when consuming a beverage, most people don't plan ahead and they don't even find a ride before they go out, which is a major problem today because both innocent and guilty people are passing away or getting seriously harmed from this. So within this speech, I plan to show you all that drinking and driving both harms the guilty and the innocent. There needs to be more done to prevent this, and there are serious repercussions that can come from consuming alcohol before driving. First, I'd like to talk about how important it is to drive while sober. So, many people are killed by the poor choices of others, like I've said before, and that according to the United States Drunk Driving Statistics website, established statistician Jerry Daggett states that each day people drive drunk more than 300,000 times, but only about 32,000 are arrested. Of every day, someone is either killed or harmed that is drunk driving or is just an innocent bystander. It is shocking that this matter is so common, and what could we possibly do to stop this tragedy from occurring? If everyone could decide to drive sober, the roads would be a much safer way to commute. We are human though and make mistakes, so this isn't really possible, but our choices could affect how the decisions that are made by other people as well. If our roads could be made safer, communities as a whole would also be a much safer place. Another way that could stop this is just by being more vocal about the situation. People need to understand the impact that their choices make and the impact that can have on families and communities. A mother should never have to lose their child by the reckless decisions of others. One thing that everyone could do to stop this is plan ahead and get either an Uber or Lyft type situation, or even have a friend come pick them up so they don't have to get behind the wheel. According to the dangers of drunk driving, an expert of alcohol consumption, Buddy T, states, if you plan to party away from home, and this includes on the water, be sure to appoint a designated driver for the car or operator of the boat. If everyone could plan to have a safe way home, this would probably make a great impact on the community in a very positive way. Imagine all of the great things that would come out of a safer driving and better decisions. Just think of how nice it would be to get into a car and not have to worry about other people driving poorly. I can't tell you the last time I got into a car and wasn't worried about other people either harming themselves or harming me just by their poor decisions. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way, and it occurs way too often. So what could everyone do to possibly lower these outcomes? There are some things that are in place to help prevent this, such as alcohol campaigns and stricter law enforcement. The real question is this really enough? According to Preventing Drunk Driving, credit author Steve Olson states, higher taxes on alcohol, changes in the drinking age, responsible oversight by servers, educational campaigns, safer cars and highways, and steps to deal with this repeat offenders all have at least a theoretical capability to reduce drunk driving. Theoretically, this should be enough to stop drunk drivers, but clearly it's not working. So this is why I feel that the power should be in the people's hands and that we as a community owe it to everybody else to make better choices. If we could just spread the information that we do have and how we feel about the situation, it could honestly probably stop either our neighbors, our friends, or our families from making the same poor decisions that everybody else has made. This is why I feel that it is so important to just let everybody know instead of just reading what the government has to say about it in newspaper articles. Nobody will really pay attention to that. But if somebody that you love tells you about the situation, it will probably have a greater effect on you than just reading about it. So if you could tell anybody you know about the situation, it would help greatly. And also about the images that I selected for the visual representation, it is very important to note the first one, because it shows a bottle with a reflection, a beer bottle with a reflection of a car upside down in the picture. This is a very meaningful picture because it represents the effect that alcohol can have on a driver, and that it's very dangerous. And then the second one is also very helpful because it shows a man clearly in pain over what he has done to a peaceful civilian just riding their bike on the streets, and how he has affected their life for forever. So I felt that this was very meaningful and hope that you find it meaningful and touching as well. And then the next picture is one of a bar, and it shows car keys, a drink, and handcuffs. And this is basically just the steps of what this can do to a community. So if you drink before you get into a car, usually there will be repercussions such as jail time or even death row. So this is very meaningful as well. And then the last one is a picture of a man performing a sobriety test in front of police officers, and that there are serious consequences to the actions that he committed. So, are there any questions about this matter? And if you do, please feel free to ask me.
What can you do to prevent this?
So basically, you don't always have to just, follow whatever you see in the newspaper or whatever the local police department tries to enforce. You could do this yourself by telling your friends and your family and your neighbors just how important it is to drive sober and the effect that it can have on a community.
Okay. Sorry. Why weren't the other programs in place by the government not working?
The other programs aren't as effective because they aren't as meaningful. So reading it secondhand isn't as powerful as experiencing it firsthand and then spreading it to other people. So if you know anybody that has had a problem with this, kind of get their input and help to tell it to people that you know, so that way it can stop.
Why do people continue to drink and drive?
People continue to drink and drive just because we are human, and people do make mistakes. It's just how great of a risk is this mistake, and how important is it to, make a better choice so that way you don't have to, harm somebody else or even harm yourself. So I hope you all enjoyed the speech. If there's no more other questions.